guys remember this Jacob Wells character that I warned you all about? He is the co-founder of GiveSendGo, the man who has been allowing Carmelo Anthony to raise all of this money from killing a white kid. And as you guys know, for about a month now, I've been on this channel every single day calling this stuff out. I've been on this channel pointing out how Carmelo's fundraiser is filled with racist, evil comments. But not just that. They are filled with threats against Austin's family. Threats that they are going to hurt Austin's twin brother. Threats that they are forming a militia and they're going to target and find and harm white people, right? You literally got all of these comments about death to Whitey. And I've been pointing it out. And I think it was wrong. I think it's wrong. I still think it's wrong. Meanwhile, Jacob Wells has been defending this the whole entire time. I have called Jacob Wells out personally because for the last month, he has been defending everyone who is saying hateful things towards Austin. He has been defending all of the evil and racist and vile comments that have been on Carmelo Anthony's fundraiser. And he's been using arguments like, oh, it's the freedom of speech. I love the freedom of speech. I support the freedom of speech. And I even had a lot of people who actually support Austin get mad at me for calling Jacob out. Because they said, well, Jacob allows other campaigns. Jacob is just, a free speech absolutist. He just really supports the freedom of speech, and you should too. And I told these people, I warned these people, that Jacob Wells was a snake. That he does not support the freedom of speech. No, he supports Carmelo's supporters saying all of these evil, racist, vile things, but he does not support the freedom of speech for white people. I told people that if white people ever did even half, even a small percentage of what Carmelo's supporters have been doing, if they even said a small percentage of what these people have said, that he would immediately shut it down. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? After Jacob defended Carmelo's supporters spreading hate on his platform for over a month and had nothing to say about, matter of fact, I don't want to say he didn't have anything to say about it because he had a lot to say about it. He argued with people every single day. He literally called me and other people racist for saying, hey, we don't think it's okay to allow these black people to literally call for the death of white kids on your platform while raising money. This is kind of dangerous. He called me racist and other people racist. He said that we were all secretly leftist. We were all secretly Democrats. He said all of this wild stuff. Well, guess what? After a month of allowing these people just to say whatever they want on Carmelo's fundraiser, he has now shut down the comments on the fundraiser for Shiloh Hendrix. Over a month of black people saying the worst stuff you could possibly imagine, stuff that I can't even repeat here. And not only was he okay with it, he went on Fox News and defended it. I have a video that I already uploaded that you guys should check out. He went on Fox News and defended it. But after a day and a half of Shiloh raising money, he has now shut it down. He has now shut down the comments, and he is now publicly speaking out against racism. Now, isn't it funny how that works? I hate to always say I told you so on this channel. There's a lot of people who have been watching for years, and they get so upset at me because I'm always saying I told you so, but guess what, folks? I did tell you so. Literally days ago, I warned you that, hey, this guy doesn't support free speech at all. He's a fraud, he's a phony, he's a snake, and even some of Austin's supporters, some people who aren't even sympathetic towards Karmelo, they turned on me and they lashed out at me. And now here we are, a day and a half of white people using the freedom of speech, and this guy immediately shuts it down. Let's go ahead and see what he had to say really quickly. At GiveSendGo, we recently disabled comments on the fundraising campaigns for Carmelo Anthony and Shiloh Hendrix due to the unacceptable volume of racist and derogatory remarks. At the time comments were turned off, both campaigns had raised approximately $500,000 with around 15,000 donors each. We remain committed to ensuring all funds raised are delivered to the campaign recipients as intended. However, we unequivocally condemn the hateful comments that sought to fuel division and harmful narratives. These remarks do not reflect GiveSendGo's values of hope, compassion, and fairness. Our platform exists to support individuals and families in need, and we uphold the principle that everyone deserves a fair process, not judgment by a mob outrage. We took action to stop the spread of divisive rhetoric while ensuring the campaigns continue to serve their intended purposes. We call for respectful dialogue and understanding, even in challenging situations. Thank you for supporting our mission to share hope and help. So there you go, folks. Rules for thee, not for me. It's okay when they do it. It's a problem when white people do it. Over a month, I have documented on this channel, spending hours a day researching, editing, and putting out these videos for over a month. Which, by the way, if you would like to support, Cash App, Super Thanks, or share the video and like the video. It's free. Over a month, I've been documenting this stuff, right? And what did Jacob Wells have to say? It would be one thing if he was sitting quietly in the background, counting his shekels, not saying anything about what was going on. But no, Jacob Wells went out of his way to attack people, to discredit people like me. And I want you to understand that I'm going to cherry pick a few comments, a few things that Jacob has said over the last month. But if you guys have time, I encourage you guys to go to Jacob Wells' X account and just look at everything that he said for the last month. Screenshot it, because I guarantee you he's deleting the post. He has been defending people who are saying mean things, evil things under Carmelo's fundraiser this entire time, while acting like it's all about the freedom of speech. But freedom of speech went right out of the window once white people started talking. So you know what? I think GiveSendGo deserves the Bud Light treatment. I think everyone should come together and boycott GiveSendGo, because Jacob is a horrible human being. And let me just read a couple of things that he said over the last couple of weeks. Here someone says, what I don't like is anti-white comments that you're allowing. What I don't like is you're doing this for attention and money. This isn't free speech. This is greed off of murder. And Jacob Wells replies, yeah, I don't like them either. But there is this little thing called free speech that is actually important in our country. And you should have seen comments written on other campaigns on GiveSendGo where white people killed black people. Disgusting. So there's a little thing called free speech in this country that's actually important when people are using their freedom of speech to defend a murderer that killed a white kid. It's important for black people to have the freedom of speech when they defend murderers, but it's not important for white people to have the freedom of speech. The freedom of speech was so important to Jacob until white people used the freedom of speech. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. Now it's disgusting, it's vile, it's racist. Here he is though, just 6 days ago. Let me just say, I love free speech. Because he's been getting hammered. He's been getting hammered because people have been exposing what's going on in his platform. And his fake argument is that, oh, he just loves the freedom of speech so much. I love when black people come together and raise $500,000 while talking about murdering white kids. I love it. It's the freedom of speech, guys. How dare you say anything against it? But then a white person donates $20 to some white lady that dropped the N-word, and boy, oh boy, he has to shut it all down. There is nothing that has been said on Shiloh's fundraiser that is anywhere near compared to what has been said on Carmelo's fundraiser. But a day and a half is all it took for them to shut it down. But here he is, not that long ago. I have yet to hear a principled argument, plenty of emotional ones, for why we should undermine free speech, freedom of association, and due process for Carmelo's family and his community. So he doesn't see why we should undermine free speech when it comes to Karmelo. How dare you call out the people calling for death to Whitey under Carmelo's GiveSendGo? How dare you undermine free speech? But if you say, hey, here's $20, your life shouldn't be ruined for saying the N-word, oh boy. Due process, undermining free speech, none of that matters anymore. Because Jacob is a weasel, he's a snake, he's a slimy, slithery freaking worm, just like I warned you guys. And a lot of you, listen, the people know who I'm talking about, you dumbasses, and you know who I'm talking about, who are backing up Jacob and attacking me. How do you feel now? You puffed up your chest in the comments, and you puffed up your chest in the DMs. It's all about free speech, buddy. Where's the free speech now? Are you still defending your little slime ball friend Jacob now? Turns out free speech doesn't matter to him at all. Free speech only applies to black people. As soon as white people say something, he shuts it down. Jacob Wells himself, the man who said everyone else was undermining the freedom of speech when they were calling out Karmelo and his family for raising this money, Jacob Wells himself is now undermining the freedom of speech. A gigantic hypocrite. I wish I could say I was surprised, but I literally, and I'm sorry, but I gotta say it, I literally told you guys so just a few days ago. And luckily, I'm here on YouTube, and you can go watch the videos for yourself, where I literally lay it out and tell people that this is going to happen, and now it has happened. And to think that for the last month, I've been dealing with this little dork saying snarky things like, what? You don't support the freedom of speech? When I point out that people have been using his platform, raising money, while literally calling for people to do violent, evil things to Austin's twin brother. When I was pointing out that, hey, they're literally forming a militia under your GiveSendGo Carmelo Anthony fundraiser, talking about going around and hurting white people. Hey, they're literally talking about going and hurting Austin's dad. Hey, they're calling for the death of other young white kids, all on your platform while raising money. When I was bringing this stuff to Jacob's attention, when I was making these videos, Jacob's reply has been this entire time, well, what? You're against the freedom of speech? The freedom of speech is so important. How dare you undermine the freedom of speech? I thought you liked the freedom of speech. All of that nasty, snarky BS, only for a day and a half into the Shiloh Hendrix case, the freedom of speech, it doesn't matter anymore. All of these arguments about the freedom of speech that I've been making nonstop every day, it flew right out of the window as soon as white people opened their mouth, right? And it goes to show they are terrified of white people coming together, sticking together, and becoming tribal in the way that all of these other groups of people are doing in America, right? That's what they're afraid of, and they're trying to shut it down right now as we speak. Everyone was all in support of Carmelo Anthony raising this money. As soon as Shiloh raised a couple of dollars, guess what? They launched an investigation. The NAACP started speaking out and freaking out. And the comments had to be disabled. And it's really disgusting that Jacob tried to frame it in a way like, oh my God, it's just too much hate. We got to shut it all down. No. The hate was fine when it was coming from Carmelo's camp. The racism was fine when it was coming from black people. But none of it was okay when white people spoke up. And this is why white people are fed up. This is why Shiloh has raised so much money. Because there are double standards here. We have been sent the message that black people can do and say whatever they want. They can stab a kid in the chest, and then they can make up racist lies about him. Then they can say hateful stuff to you, threaten you, and raise $500,000, and no one will say anything about it. But a white woman says the N-word, a word that black people use nonstop. She doesn't hurt anyone. She doesn't do anything. But boy, oh boy, they got to shut that down. That's not okay. It's the double standards. To these people, a white lady saying the N-word after a 10-year-old was stealing stuff out of her toddler's bag, that is worse than a black kid stabbing a white kid in the chest because he decided to go sit under the white kid's tent at a track meet. So what you're going to see in response to this, and it's been a long time coming, is that white people are going to start sticking together and becoming more tribal in the way that all of these other groups have been for years. All of these other groups have gotten together and they've had this tribal mentality for years, when America is supposed to be a melting pot where we all got together, right? We were all coming together in this melting pot of America. Things seemed to be a little smoother in the 90s and early 2000s when I grew up. And then the media decided to paint white people out to be the number one villain of the world. They demonized white people. All of these other people felt emboldened to speak out against white people, to say racist things against white people, to kill white kids. And now white people are fed up. And notice, white people aren't going around stabbing people in the chest. They're not doing anything. All they did was quietly raise money for a woman that black people were trying to cancel. And boy, oh boy, the powers that be can't stand it. They got to shut it down. Go ahead and raise however much money you want off the death of a white child. But white people better not come together and rally around anything, because that's wrong. That's racist. That's supremacist. That's what we're watching play out. And Jacob, if you ask me, we're all looking for the villain in this story. Is it Karmelo? Is it Shiloh? Is it this person? Is that person? Jacob has been sitting behind the scenes as his little fundraiser platform is raking in all of this money from all of this hate, and he supported the hate all up until white people had something to say back. So it goes to show what they want is they want white people taking all of this laying down. They want you to accept your kids getting stabbed in the chest at school. They want you to accept an entire community coming together to say racist things to you while making fun of the fact that white kids are getting stabbed to death at school. They want to be able to raise money for the killers, but they want you to shut up and not say anything about it, because if you do, they'll shut it down. When it's all of the evil racist white stuff, or all of the evil racist stuff towards white people, it's the freedom of speech. But if white people say something back, if there's a response, the freedom of speech doesn't apply there. You better shut up and take it lying down. Well, guess what? People aren't going to take it lying down anymore. I think it's safe to say that over the past couple of weeks, those days have ended. For sure. But I am glad that Jacob Wells finally showed the world his true colors, because I saw those colors shining brightly from day one. I don't have to know this guy. I took one good look at him. I saw a couple of the things that he was saying, and I knew that this was a sleazy slimeball. And the fact that he was just on the news, literally on camera, recording himself, defending the freedom of speech and all of this hateful stuff that was said under Carmelo's campaign a couple of days ago, but now he has folded like a cheap lawn chair. Now all of those principles he stood on have flown out the window. It's just so eye-opening. Not to me, because I already knew this was coming, but it's eye-opening to a lot of other people. So with that being said, I just really think that people should boycott GiveSendGo. Jacob does not deserve any more money coming into his platform, because we now know that Jacob supports people killing white kids and bragging about it on his fundraiser, but he does not support white people saying anything back or saying anything about it. He does not support white people having a problem with their kids being killed and then his platform being used to raise money for their killers, all while the killer supporters say the most evil things they can towards the victim's family and everyone else who looks like the victim. So screw Jacob Wells. With that being said, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.